Yo, what up? My name's Chumbate. Ruska Roma versus VR Militia. First map is going to be Suburbia. This is going to be the northwest objective in front of the white car. We're waiting on the lobby to start. Yeah, as you can see, it's not a full tent. And still waiting on the players. There we go. As the beeper goes, VR Militia is going to start off on Marsoc. Marsoc, really take it easy here. On the south house as Volk kind of spread out to lane 3, 1, and I guess 2. A 3v3. I'm unfamiliar with Ruska Roma, but VR Militia is a team that I have seen as Goldbagger now pushes the semi. John Wick might not see these footsteps. Now they do. Goldbagger goes down in a mutual trade. Both are revivable. The confirm might not go down. The callouts come out from both sides as Golden Wolf starts to push. Wow, really lucky that Mark 18 didn't land any shots. Flash going out. Viper doesn't seem to be caught out. A frag! Will catch John Wick, but Golden Wolf is still ready. Viper finishes him off. It's a 1v3 for Ruska Roma. Revive finally goes out. Ooh, Suddy with that G3 firing into the smoke, but Kid A is going to be going for the cap. A flash out, not going to land it. A second flash! Kid A's the last one on objective. The flashes catch him. The pre-fires don't work. The flash is now off. Oh my god! Subtle manages to clutch it! Out of nowhere. No way. What? That was crazy, man. Oh my god, I totally forgot about desktop audio. My friends, I apologize. That is totally my fault. That was crazy. I didn't expect it to be so close, but it was. I have no idea. I mean, what else to say? Both of these teams. I could do some homework here and try looking up VR Militia. I believe they've been around. I don't know for how long, but they've definitely I've heard their name before. Um yeah, here we go. VR Militia ended 63rd place worldwide. They've been playing since season 12. Sriracha's on this team. Interesting. Sriracha is a name that I'm familiar with, having played on Azusa and Amazonians. Yeah, interesting. Here we go into round number 2. Or not.
I'm really sorry about that. I know you're the killer.
Bro, you're good. Don't worry about it.
No.
That's surprising.
Oh my
That's
God.
surprising.
Thanks for the drum mag. I at least can light them up now. Bro, my height's fucked beyond belief.
Yep.
Why I'm fucking up so much because my headset literally had me at good height.
Where's Uplink? Same place? Yeah.
Yuto out onto lane 1. The objective also playing it really close. Goldbacker actually pushing that mid lane. Subtle should be hearing these footsteps. That smoke doing little to mask the sounds of their feet. Goldbacker now pushing lane 3. A 3v3 movement is... Whoa! LSW barely missing Goldbacker as they take that second floor. John Wick is on track to be taken out. There goes John Wick. As the rest of the Volk are tight on the objective. Mark 18 shots onto Gold with a kill with an AK-12. Subtle is pushing in to the mid house. Wow, what a kill onto that second floor. Goldbagger was not ready for it. Now 4 minutes left. Subtle is last up again, and will they be able to clutch it up like they did for round 1? Audio cues might be going out. Viper may have seen some movement, and there it goes. VR Militia take a 3rd point. I apologize, guys. I thought that Ruska Roma was able to clutch it up last round, but I realized that they did not. Here tonight, I have a surprising guest, actually. That Thick from RGM. Thick, welcome.
Oh, what's up, homie? Also, I'm from AGM, not RGM. We're on the same
Are you
team.
sure? I don't know about that, bro.
Oh, okay, bucko. Alright. Alright. I'm gonna be real. I haven't watched the video so far. So I'm kind of starting fresh here.
Round 1, it was kind of crazy, honestly. It was a it was a 2v3 turned 1v3. One person left on Volk, like north of lane 2, while the 3 Marsoc players were literally on the white car objective. They were on the objective. With the G3, he killed 2 of them, and then that 3rd Marsoc guy was on a smoke, sitting on the objective, punching in the code. He got flashed, probably like 6 digits in, and then the G3 guy crashed in, and he killed him right after he punched in the code. It was kind of clutch. You'll see it on the stream. It was kind of crazy, but that's what happened.
I'm gonna scroll back through there, just watch it real quick.
But yeah, as I was saying before, like, seems that VR Militia is not really. I mean, they're in bronze.
Are they gonna restart?
Might be ready up. Yeah,
Yeah, they did it, but hey, no. They're the one that's got to do it. See?
Oh, seems that we have a round reset. They are giving away their spawn. Not sure if. Yeah.
That's a bad move, but I guess they only have 2 spawns though, so.
Yeah, only 2 spawns for this objective. I mean, Thick, run us down for this objective. It's semi-truck. It's still in lane 1 area, but what changes between the white car and this Humvee semi-truck objective?
Honestly, not much, but it's definitely the positions the Volk take. They'll probably go up to lane 1 on the sandbags there, or they might even be aggressive towards mid, and they'll probably have one holding on white car, watching down lane 4.
Sure.
Possibly.
On white car all the way east, or?
No, right next to OBJ.
Right next to objective. Gotcha.
Or the previous objective on that white car over there.
Yeah, for sure.
And they might set some people on porches, to be honest. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea to.
For sure. I mean, it's kind of like the community standard to have people on porches. It's pretty powerful if you do it right.
Especially with audio.
For sure, yeah. A little bit of a util, possibly a C4. It's a fun map. I mean, I'll definitely say the Bronze League heroes are the best at it, just because of how much time they spend in comp lobbies. But so far, that was a pretty insane clutch attempt by Subtle. I believe they're called, Subtle on Ruska Roma with John Wick. It was decent. It was a great 2 kills with that G3. And I guess an amazing cap. A little slow by VR Militia, but it definitely went through. Here we go into round number 3. Still, it seems to be a 4v4.
That's not good stuff. That's not good stuff.
No?
Go behind, man. No. We don't get
No?
behind. No, not be like this.
You're gonna be over there, one over there, and the one behind there, and then one.
If I was on VR Militia, I'd honestly hit him from lane 4. Probably do an entire sweep of that north end. Because if you look, what are these guys' names? Ruska, my bad. I'm gonna just call him Roma. But they're only sending one person back there, but then they have a guy on OBJ and then a guy north of OBJ sitting on that Haskell, which isn't a bad idea either. Because then they have lane 2, lane 3, lane 4 covered, and all they have to worry about is which it looks like VR Militia are doing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Majestic Bandit is a name that I recognize, and he just got yeeted out of lane 2. John Wick is the only one on objective. Gold Bagger. Wow, the engagement. John Wick wins it with that AK-12, but the feet are exposed. That second floor. Wow, those feet get caught out. No one on the objective. What has Subtle got to do in order to defend this properly from this North Road and the people on objective? I mean, he might be killed right now, or not, from mid road. That smoke goes in, catches it out thick. What does this one last person on VR Militia have to do in order to take this objective?
Honestly, probably crawling your way up to OBJ. If you go from lane 1 all the way to the Haskell, that hedge wall there, if you just crawl up, they won't even see you come in. If you just stay on that left side where we're looking at right now.
Got you. That's interesting,
but
yeah.
If he's going the way he is right now, he's just going to be left out in the open by Subtle and the guy that's right in front of him.
Sure. Yeah, this is such a dangerous push. All it takes is some audio or Golden just peeking out, and it's over for Kid, which might happen just now. Ooh. That peak did go out, but didn't see that top of the helmet. Oh. So close. I mean, like, peeking into that lane 2 is not that... Wow! Look at that R1 timing, Thick. That's brutal, man.
Crazy.
And that util's already going out. I mean, I've got to pay attention. Oh, wait.
Oh!
Wow.
I love the util usage, though, right there. It just kind of should have threw it, ran back through lane 2, and went lane 1, and try and go for the cap, possibly.
For sure. I mean, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I really like that smoke placement. And Kid got super lucky that Golden didn't peek that lane 2 very aggressively. Yeah, I mean, again, like, VR Militia, they seem to have slightly more experienced players compared to Ruska Roma. We do have Majestic Bandit that just left, possibly a scrim reservist. like, what can you do as a bronze team? Like, obviously, you know, kind of making sure that you learn as much as possible from defeat, but like overall, what's kind of a surprising tactic that you've seen maybe in pub lobbies, maybe in like your earlier parts of the career? What have been some surprising plays on Suburbia?
Honestly, just figuring out the dirty angles, the pre-fires. There's about 5 to 6 pre-fire. Well, actually, like 8 pre-fires I know of. Some of them work, some of them don't. But when you're shooting an LMG with 200 rounds and just blasting it, it's a team move to do it. Because let's say it's this OBJ, actually. If you get that south house spawn, you can get up right in that window and shoot at white car all the way from south Marsoc house.
Okay.
And you can just pre-fire all the way up there, cutting the map in half and not allowing those folk to get to lane 1. And they'd have to stay behind that white car not to get shot by that LMG.
For sure. Yeah, I remember the first time I experienced that on Suburbia, dude. That was brutal. I think that was actually leftovers. Pisa's old team. Now this is round number 4. What do you expect to see here? I mean, you see immediately Smokes and Util going out on mid lane. Lane 1, actually a grenade onto lane 2. What a beautiful throw there. Majestic Bandit has returned for Ruska Roma. It seems to be more of a... Wow, what a refrag there from mid-house. So now that we've seen the setup for this Marsoc push, how do you expect this kind of to play out?
Honestly, I feel like they're going to try and get that lane 3 and that lane 4 done and over with, looking for the lane 1 push to kind of be cleared, but you just saw what happened with that 1v1 happening. They're just not covering that angle immediately.
Right.
Definitely usage in, well, util in lane 1 probably could have prevented, yeah, you see what's happening there, just the grenade. But definitely throwing a smoke there in that meta spot, it would have saved them from having a 3v3.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. I mean, Majestic arguably was really way too close to the objective as... Wow, Kid gets one, gets away with it. Golden not taking that refrag, actually rotates off of lane 3. 2v3 for VR Militia. A flash out for some reason. I don't understand these flashes being thrown like this. I mean... Wow, Golden Wolf taken down. Kid A manages to get that 2 picks. It's just left up to Subtle again in another clutch attempt onto lane 1. I missed that action, I'm sorry. John Doe rotates, swings around, and kills them on that mid lane. VR Militia take 4 points.
I would definitely say that Marsoc push was a little bit too aggressive. All the util was used for middle, which probably wasn't the right idea. I saw a smoke in garage and a smoke on playground. They might have been expecting a push, which they did send one up through middle, but they were easily able to pick them up. And just the over-aggression, not checking every possible angle, every spot before pushing up. It feels like they were too worried about getting the cap rather than the kills.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I definitely saw that. I mean, Majestic Bandit, getting killed, I think, in pretty dumb ways, in my opinion. Not. I wouldn't be the happiest if I were him. That was definitely aggressive. I agree with you. Pushing that lane 1 without having a possible refrag from a teammate. They were really just the closest one on objective. All the other ones were still trying to find picks into the north alleyways. But yeah, okay. So map number 2, we've got Subway. Not a lot to kind of go off of here, having seen the gameplay so far. Ruska Roma having struggled to make sure VR Militia isn't able to operate as much. This is... Oh, sorry, this is cargo. I'm really dumb. Here, let's just go straight into this. Okay, my bad.
Me too.
suburbia.
I honestly,
Objective. What do you talk to me?
Okay?
I you two usage are majestic. I think he's bringing in the LMG. I'm pretty sure. That was a beautiful smoke.
Wow, what an early pick on that free fire.
Oh!
Golden with another kill here on the west on tunnels.
You know what's surprising here is they have nobody on that right side. They're all just hunkering down on that left side, making sure nobody gets over there. And then they're just watching the cross angles. It's a good play.
I'd agree with that. Quick refrag by Subtle onto John Dope on center diamond, but guess what? This is not good for Golden and Subtle. I'm sorry, I realize we have Gold Bagger too. I'll call him Bagger. Golden Wolf definitely hears these audios. And it goes into a trade. Thick, this is a 1v2. Subtle may not be aware that this is a 1v2. Those low fire rate weapons from Gold Wolf doesn't help them out. What do you say about Subtle's performance here on center 2? I mean, they've got an
He's definitely
playing the right way.
He's looking for that. Honestly, I mean, you could definitely tell when a trade happens if the firing stops immediately right after each other. But maybe it was just a little bit different for him. And like you said, the low fire rate, it definitely comes into play if he knows that there was a trade or not. And he's just looking for that rotation that he thinks there's a Volk behind him, which is good because he doesn't want to get flanked on, of course. And I think he's actually about to, he's going to check right now for the trade. And he might even go pick up the util from his dead friendlies. Just kind of...
Or maybe not.
Oh.
4 minutes is a long time to operate, and going through tunnel, I already see Viper hearing these footsteps. Oh, I guess you're right. Checking for some util.
He could lay down all the way over there.
Sure, definitely. Doesn't seem like we're gonna have that coming. Wow, look at that. Yeah, Viper just wins that. Yeah.
Right, he had a lot of time to work with. He got a little bit, I want to say overexcited, but he was definitely being aggressive.
For sure.
On there. Definitely would have taken it a lot slow. Like, even go through Green Tunnel. Green Tunnel would have been a great move, because then you'd be behind them all. And if you made no noise, then they would have no idea, and
exactly.
You could have possibly got the two.
I was just about to say that, 4 minutes with this 1.12 update, crouching and proning is a little faster than the 1.11. And, even though Viper was in a position to be able to pick up on audio cues, proning down that tunnel would not have taken 4 minutes. It would have taken maybe 1.5 to 2 minutes to cross that entire length, and it would have still left quite a bit of time to operate. Yeah, for sure. I mean, you liked VR Militia's play there. I'm wondering, like, do you see any room for improvement in their defense? Or the way they played in the rounds you watched?
I would probably say not getting over peaky. Well, it was a nice lurk. That was a good lurker. Getting that 2K there, trading on the last. I'm not too sure how the first guy died. I think it was also another trade. I'm not too sure. I think he might have died in Green Tunnel while they were... I really don't know, to be honest. I don't know how that first Volk died, so I couldn't tell you anything about what he did. It might have been from over peakiness, because they were hunching down and they were doing really good, just keeping their angles and listening for those audio cues, which gave them the round win.
Definitely now run number 2, VR Militia on
we're gonna have to play it smart
offense.
And sometimes dumb.
John Wick calling out the shots. I mean, look at this defense. They are tight in the south half. I think it's actually a 3v4. Yeah, Your Militia rocking 4 players. They have finished crossing the midline. They're done. I mean, they're now having to take care of Diamond. John Wick with an early pick in the west. Sorry, the east. What a pick. That's always very difficult. Especially because it's so easily fraggable, flashable, smokable. Great pick by John Wick, as now Kid tries to hear any movement here on Diamond, but guess what, Ruska? They have 3 players up all around the objective. No control onto Diamond whatsoever. I mean, like, what happens when Diamond falls to Marsoc hands thick? Talk to me.
It opens up that southern flank there. Just going like right next to tunnel. You see that util, that flash. He's checking if there's any Volk behind there. But Golden's in a really good spot just to watch the entire cross. And I think they were expecting a diamond push or possibly even a green tunnel push. As you see Golden giving out a call out, I think, to Subtle there. And then VR Militia just missing the smoke. If they threw it a little bit shorter, they could have blocked Golden from looking up red tunnel if he had to.
Wow, another pick onto the center diamond. John Wick rotating around to that alleyway is able to find a second kill for Ruska Roma. Now Viper is east, about to push that red crate, and Kid now in the south. Golden, fingers crossed that they'll be able to hear these audio cues, because they are checking, and they let that crossing go right there in that red crate. Kid is tucked in nicely in the south. What is this? What is this? No bloody way. A down with the pistol as Golden gets taken out. It's all left up to John Wick. Viper, what are the chances of a res going through? I mean, I personally think it's very low.
He could just rotate out on it. Well, actually, no. That's going to be pretty difficult rotating out now. John Wick's watching red crate. Unless there's onward timing. But he is pre-firing. I think he is going to try and get out of there.
Oh my god! John Wick is not able to peek that far. Flash goes out. Did not catch Viper. John Wick really bouncing in between. I like this movement. Will he hear these audio cues? Ooh, John Wick with that 3 pick tonight. Beautiful performance.
John Wick with the 3K. Ruska got a little too aggressive on that flank. They had 4 minutes on the clock, just like Roma did, and they didn't seize the opportunity to just go silent and go quiet on them on the. And they could have, honestly, they could have picked up the 2K and went for a cap on there. If it's about audio, and that's how they traded, was with that audio that the Volk heard down in south. He did a great job going through Diamond and then heading through that flank. He definitely had a plan, he just committed it wrong.
That's great intel. I mean, it's kind of heartbreaking to hear the potential of these players' performance, but you know, tis is the fate of competitive play. Going into round number 3, that smoke did not get deployed correctly as an AK-104 quickly takes out the crossing. Smoke did not go as planned for Ruska Roma. One has crossed John Wick now in the east, but he did. Wow. Util throw a frag out. Get out of here. Just mere feet away from Subtle. Insane throw. Quick pick onto the west. Gold Bagger. I mean, the last time he pushed out like this, he was insanely aggressive. And look at this, riding that tunnel, a 2v4. Subtle might be hearing these audio cues. Yep, Subtle just watching that tunnel exit. There goes the quick pick. Oh, 2v3 now. I mean, thoughts on this objective? Thick, this OBJ is on the other side of that north red crate. It's a little more difficult to kind of secure a cap. But with this placement of defense, any projection? Any thoughts?
Definitely on that western side, but John's holding a very dirty angle, that cross. Now, Roma, they just need to take time here. Just look for the picks. Look at John. He's over peeking. There we go. There's another kill. That's good on Soto. Just listening for the audio cues and just staying back looking for the pick. Waiting for them to get anxious to peek out, and then bam, there's the kill. Now it's a 2v2. And now that west side's completely open. I mean, there's nothing really stopping him from just running behind them. Rather than audio cues, which honestly, if he just crawls or even just crouches his way to OBJ, he could get a cap. But also Barrels, I mean, Barrels could see him, but it just depends if Barrels is paying attention to that west side, and I think that is what he's doing now, with John doing a good little, kind of, I guess, a little, how would I explain this? Kind of like a flea flicker. Kind of, you shoot on the west side, get attention over there, and now you're on the east side. And now you're trying to look for that little angle to get any defenders looking the other way. Trying to shoot them in the back. And there we go.
Wow, look at that. I wish I had replays. Oh my god.
Good job. I saw one, but I didn't see two.
And like I explained, it's a flea flicker. Just get their attention on one side, and you got the whole side free. And that west side was just completely open to Roma there. And I think Militia should have... They should have done
man. What an amazing analysis of the play. I love that, man. GG.
VR Militia probably should have rotated, especially to red crate, or even Barrels right next to red crate. We're watching down triangle. That could have been a very good play, because you got to pay attention to the audio. If your teammate dies to the west, there's going to be an enemy to the west unless there's a giant rotation, which they had enough time for that rotation, so it's you're kind of scrambled there. I would have probably talked to Barrels and told him to look exactly there, and then I probably would have rotated back to red crate and just watched that pixel peek inside there in that door, and so you could watch red crate. So then you have the west and the east covered, and there's a X cross there, so there's no one getting past you without one of your teammates dying, and then that's an audio cue for you, and you can flash over and go kill him. Yeah, exactly.
Wow. I mean, VR Militia, they were packing heat on Suburbia, definitely with some interesting plays, especially that util toss early round number 2. I was just incredibly impressed with, round number 3, incredibly impressed with that play. What a nade toss there by VR Militia. I mean, from Marsoc, what's the aggressive and decisive path to victory for this objective? Like, what plays have you seen? What play styles have you seen that worked?
Well, I've been seeing different plays, especially in different regions. EU play cargo really slow. They like to stay back, and Militia is playing it like an NA team. They're being very aggressive. They're using the util, which is perfect. And they're just covering every common spot, and they're getting the refrags when needed, especially on teammates. And audio cues definitely is going to help them out here. As we see, yep, John Wick picking up gold. Just listening for that audio. And they're still being aggressive. Maybe using another flash on that right side would have probably helped them clear that push.
Wow, what a 2K there by Subtle, refrag there by John Dope. Vic, you are on point with this analysis. Keep it going, man. 1v3, I mean, from Yellow Room or outside of Yellow Room, it's really tough. You've got to util this out. What are the next steps here?
Honestly, rotation's perfect. Definitely looking for the picks as you look. Majestic's getting over peaky. He can get the pick right here. There we go. Now John probably should rotate here, honestly, or even there's no dead teammates around him, so he can't go pick up any more util. But taking his time, definitely looking for the picks, making sure that every angle's covered. Well, that he can cover. Is definitely going to help here. If he's realizing that east is probably open, so he's probably expecting them to be on that west side, either in OBJ or on red half crate there, which I think that's what he's paying attention to, is that east side first. Just clearing that all out and then working his way across. Kind of slicing the pie, slicing the map a little bit. As you see him doing here, he's just making sure that they're not laying down under that crate. And he might be able to pick up subtle if he knows that a lot of players like to play there. And he might do a quick peek here, or he might just crawl his way and try and get a little shoulder pick here. And Golden...
Look at this spot here. I mean, I've been absolutely ass fucked on this position. It's so I don't expect it. Wow, Subtle does win that engagement with actually a headshot on that black crate. Yeah.
Now
I want to rack your brain. What did Ruska do to break down the VR Militia offense? They're really strong coming out from tunnel. I mean, those util did go out. Was it bad placed util?
Yeah, it just, they weren't flash prone to it. You saw the flash go out and about 2 smokes. The smokes, they were pretty good. Definitely watching, putting a smoke on that cross. It was a little too far to the left there. They were more than necessarily blocking triangle rather than that red crate angle. And if you're going to do that, you might as well just throw it right on OBJ just to get them all scrambled up and get them kind of anxious, waiting for any crossings, which then might have opened up an opportunity to where Volk would get over peaky. Then you can get the picks while just staying in the back, being protected from any util, like grenades or flashes that they might throw, and any refrags, because as soon as you pick up a kill, immediately just rotate back into cover. Unless you know there's probably going to be another there. Then you can kind of hold the angle, but kind of hold it from a different angle. Let's say that you they killed a Marsoc right next to red crate, and then I think they moved back, and that's a good rotation because they're expecting that red half crate, and which the Marsoc did know there was one there, but it was also a 1v2 or a 1v2 there.
True.
And
yeah.
the Marsoc just had bad placement of the util. The flashes, smokes were good to
you.
use, just they were just used in the wrong places.
No, I definitely, I mean, it's almost objective how true that is. This objective, you've seen so many master teams just smoke the north tip of that triangle. Just literally all 10 smokes in their utility, raining down on the objective and, you know, managing to get a cap out of that. So far, Majestica's Bandit on that tunnel ends up in a trade. Interesting how none of them really had an advantage, just a flick trade. Ruska Roma paying really tight on the diamond, waiting for I guess early pushes. Look at Subtle again, watching the tunnels just in case that Volk managed out alive. It's interesting. Like, is this play style derived from purely tactical purposes? This really slow push. I mean, EU, you said they have a habit of playing really slow and thoughtfully on cargo. Why is Ruska Roma taking their time so much? We've seen, you know, teams like Animal House tactically and intelligently, strategically playing conservative early round, aggressive late round against opponents like Heathens in the VR Master League. What's the difference?
So, the difference, I think VR Militia, or, well, not VR Militia, sorry, Roma, they're realizing that Militia is being aggressive with at least one guy. If they can get that one guy and be all alive, then great, that's a 4v3. Right off the bat, as you saw, they were being aggressive in green tunnel, and which it did end up in a trade, which is good. Good shots by John holding that angle. John on John crime.
Frag. Wow, again, just feet away from Subtle.
Wow, that
getting close with these nades here.
Definitely. Now, if you realize that Ruska are kind of they're looking at the common spots, and you see they're using their util. Great flash. Definitely be aggressive with that push too.
Subtle
He just
should be counter flashed as well, or it may have gone too high and not caught out Subtle, but definitely, wow. Going all out here, John Dope, making sure he's not peeking that far west, where Subtle is eagerly waiting for him to cross. Oh my god, the onward timing thing as Golden Wolf pushes the green tunnel. He definitely hears it. Will Gold win this? And they do with the trade. Subtle left to a 1v2. Should be hearing Kid A pushing the north of Triangle. Thick. This is an exciting Bronze League match.
Oh!
Finding him with the LSW. It's a 1v1 Viper on the other side of the map.
Now what can he... If he could go to his teammates' dead bodies and they have a smoke, definitely use it for that crossing. Get inside that red crate and just go for the cap. Now I think Viper did shoot a couple, so he definitely knows he's on that east side, definitely towards pipes and barrels, which he is at barrels, and I think that's what he's watching out for. Oh, as it's a trade!
Your Militia finds that trade. 3-2 for Ruska Roma on Cargo. That was exciting. I mean, I'm surprised that these players are giving us this performance tonight. I kind of went into this being like kind of a service to the community, making sure that players in the lower rungs of the Onward ladder are being showcased as well, making sure that casts are available so they can improve faster. They are aware of their mistakes more clearly, but this is competitive. I like it.
Oh, definitely. They're using some spots it's not that I've never seen them, but it's that I've never seen them play that way in those spots.
Are you talking about this? The black box?
Not there, but throwing a nade as soon as you get a kill over red crate, well, red half crate, that's beauty. I mean, there's possibly two when you kill one. Just always expect another to be right behind, and that's what exactly he did. And he just almost threw a perfect nade. If it landed a little bit shorter, it would have been right on the money.
Or if it was cooked a little bit, it could have hit the ground, rolled a little, but would have exploded early, it could have caught Subtle out inside the red crate, leading to a possible down. Yeah.
Also, great cross angles. I mean, from barrels to red half crate, there's almost a no guarantee that both of them are gonna die by the same exact guy. I mean, unless he's coming from triangle. That's the only possible way the guy at red half crate peeks out. But it was just great not allowing the 1v1s to happen. It's just perfect.
I just realized I might be doubling up on audio here. I'm sorry. I don't know. That might be my fault. But we should be okay on audio now.
I haven't realized any double audio.
Are you watching the stream in the background?
Oh, no.
Okay. No, here we go. Wow, an engagement onto the barrels in the east. No Volk in yellow room. I mean, this is definitely a hole in the defense. Ruska Roma concentrated in the same northwest corner. A flash out, gonna take out John Wick. More smokes onto the objective. As I was saying, like this northern tip of the triangle, you douse it in smoke and something is gonna come out of it, you know? You look at the Volk already pushing out, making sure that the cross into that smoke is taken care of. Mark 18 from Viper. Might have seen something, not sure, but John Wick rotating quick around onto the black box on Pipeline. Look at this push onto the AK-12. Viper may have been tagged in the shoulder, but John Dope pushed out on Triangle, operating shuttle, finding him on the crossing. Kid A definitely heard those shots. John Wick on their rotation gets seen as well. 2v3 for VR Militia. Flash definitely caught out Kid. Subtle doesn't push on it. John Wick finds Viper in the east. Kid A finding Shuttle. 1v2. Do they have the defense? John Wick might be crashing onto objective. They can cap from here. It's not happening.
No, no. Wait, can they cap from there? Really? I didn't know that.
If they go in between the boxes, it's done. Golden. Oh my God, he wins it. Where's the tablet? I want to see a tablet. Give me the tablet. Give me the tablet. Give me the tablet. It's happening.
Listen for audio.
No
Go on.
way. Tablet out. Go, go, go. No, he's trying to find him. No way. And it's a trade. John Wick wins the trade.
That was something.
What was that? What?
That cap was there all day. That was a free cap.
It was, wasn't it, man? What?
Definitely, and I realized midway into that round, great util. It made John Wick get out of his spot and get anxious and get over peaky. Which, if they were watching the crosses, definitely could have picked up John Wick. But at the same time, they were pushing through the smoke, which is a good idea, because they blocked out underneath the red crate, and then they blocked out from the left side of red crate, not barrel side, but like in that middle towards looking in triangle, which they blocked that out, which is perfect because they blocked out black box, so they can just run right through. Now I want to have ran through black boxes and then go immediately into diamond. Just run straight for OBJ. You know there's gonna be a rotation to black box, which audio cue should have been there because I think John Wick did shoot from pipes there. Definitely. And the OBJ was so open, and it was just, I guess they didn't memorize code in the beginning.
I don't think they did. I do not think they did.
That definitely killed them there. Knowing code, I mean, you can't get much of an easier cap than that, especially if they run right by you. I mean, if you realize that a Volk just runs right past you, I would just keep going for the cap. But looking for that pick is safer than just letting them get the round win because you had your tablet out.
That was surprisingly exciting. Wow.
On God. Now we're moving to Bazaar.
Bazaar, yeah, I don't know what to make of this. Ruska, they performed well. John Wick, arguably, top fragging. I did not check the final KDs. They kind of rotated off to Bazaar too quick, but good shit. I mean, wow.
Now, Bazaar and Cargo, totally different play styles. You need to be conservative at time, but also you can't be too slow where you run out of time.
Sure.
Honestly, if VR Militia keep up the aggression, I don't think it's going to work for Bazaar. Unless they have perfect util usage.
Sure.
Then I think it could happen, maybe. But VR Militia, I think, are used to the bigger maps. Like an EU team. They're just used to the bigger maps and taking their time on them. And definitely making sure that the 1v1s don't happen. And that's exactly what they did. Is they just didn't let the 1v1s happen, and they got the refrags when needed. And they just came up on top on Cargo. Unless that was Roma. My bad.
No, it was Ruska Romeo.
But
John Wick just barely scraped by and came out on top on that trade. But just to switch gears for you, Thick. Key out objective. I mean, this is one of the most difficult objectives, arguably, on Bazaar, for defense, even in the master tier. I always get kind of bogged down on what is the focus of the objective, just because it's, first of all, difficult for Marsoc to push from the center Bazaar since it's just so out in the open. But also, like, the north is so easily defendable with good cross angles but people seem to still let Marsoc through the north. I mean, like, what are your thoughts on this Kiat objective?
So that north is definitely I see why they push them up there. I mean, you got to take a chance on every OBJ. Definitely getting that north. If you do get it on Marsoc's side, that's just it's almost game over, but it's not quite there. If when you get that north, you're just behind every single Volk. You have to be quiet. You have to take your time. If you take your time and you be quiet, honestly, you might get a cap. I mean, I normally don't see Volk playing first story on Kiat. I normally see him play on second story.
Uh-huh.
And even if you do kill him on north, then a good rotation, especially on that west side on Kiat, just looking for that pickup second story, because they might be looking north, and then you might be able to slowly crawl your way up to OBJ as long as you know that it's a 3v2 and you guys have the 3. Um, just knowing kill count and knowing where the Volk are going to be huge. Because if you know that they're both on OBJ, most likely don't go for the cap. And definitely knowing capping ranges. You can cap from the second story, I'm pretty sure still. If you just lay down right above it, I think you can still go for the cap. And even when you get on that second story, I mean, it's just so open, and that's where a big deal comes into where the Volk are. It just, honestly, playing conservative, looking for the picks it might be the best way to kind of guarantee a round point, but it doesn't guarantee that you'll not lose. Because if you're too conservative, then Volk flanks are possible, and that's what we saw in Cargo. They just kept flanking them and just kind of killing one or two, and then the trade would happen. So it's kind of an intermix between aggression. Be aggressive in the beginning, then get conservative towards the end. Or you can flip it around too. Just definitely get into the spots where you can watch every little bitty angle, and then getting the picks from those angles. Definitely going to be huge. And taking the time to get those picks too. Definitely, it will open up OBJ faster than anybody would really think. Because if there's a guy right on top of OBJ, second story Kiat, then there's a guy in the east watching East Courtyard, and a guy in the west watching West Courtyard, and then a guy on Fountain. If you take out Fountain and the guy on OBJ, the rotations have to be made to watch OBJ, unless they're already in a spot watching the cross. But then you could take the chance and go up north and just go all behind him. And then it's an easy cap, because you can be inside the building. Just main focus is knowing where Volk are and taking the time to really make sure that the spots are checking. There's really no 1v1s happening, and there's an instant refrag when need be. And knowing kill count, because if you have an inaccurate kill count, then how do you know if there's only one guy up and he's not even on OBJ? He might be in West Courtyard. Just common stuff like that. Know where Volk are, getting the kills, taking your time. You don't have to go too aggressive, but be aggressive, but in a safe way.
Right now, I don't know why, but we're just not starting. It's the same tent as before on Cargo, but for some reason it's not starting. I think both sides are waiting for a reservist. I'd have to check the Discord, but we're gonna go on a brief timeout. We'll be right back. Yeah, stay tuned. And we're back. Sorry about that. Dick and I were just talking while we were on a short intermission, just how exciting and surprising these plays are going. I gotta give kudos again, thanks to Thick for being here, giving me some material to work on, to work off of. But yeah, surprising entertainment from these two teams as we now start round number 1 for the map number 3, Bazaar. This is the match map. Thick, just to conclude some things, final thoughts on this Kiat objective.
Looking for the picks. I mean, you can't kill count, kills, and looking for those angles to kind of. There's crosses. Get those crosses out of there. Once you get those crosses out of there, immediately shoot for. Just kind of surround the enemy, like kind of like what the bees do to the wasp. They just kind of huddle all together and just kind of kill them off slowly, I guess you would put it.
Sure.
Just taking the pigs.
Wow, quick kill from Viper on that fridge. What seems to be a kill on that second floor of Kiat. There is one player that's pushed up East Alleys, but not quite so far. Majestic Bandit on that western side of the plaza, trying to find something. You can see those crosshairs just swinging widely from that second floor of Kiat. Yeah, as you were saying, no position has been set on the fountain. They are kind of bordering around Kiat building, a strong emphasis on the west side. Majestic Bandit watching the cross with the PKM. I mean, look at this. Wow. Aggressive push here by Kid and Goldbagger. What can Marsoc do with this setup here? They have North uncontested, unrivaled.
You need to be quiet. If you're not quiet, they're immediately going to make a call out that you are back here all behind them. Then they're immediately going to do rotations, which could be a good and bad thing. If they're making rotations and your teammates aren't looking at those rotations, then you're just immediately going to be picked up by a refrag or even just picked up in general.
Sure.
Just definitely being quiet here, and great util on top of OBJ. Now you see these rotations happening because I think they called out that they are in that north.
A smoke out on that second floor. John Dope on that blue room, the east side. Majestic Bandit crashing onto the objective. Subtle still on the west. We have a wraparound. I mean, all 4 sides are taking care of. Kitty finding Majestic Bandit on their rotation off that north. Mark 18 shots ring out. Golden Wolf is checking. Wow.
Now this is where. Oh, go ahead.
No, you talk to me.
This is the point of the round where watching the crosses are gonna count. Golden is the only one on OBJ. Now look at him. He's rotating around. He's making sure that they're not gonna get capped on. And there is a smoke on OBJ, which is perfect. That's actually what you want to do. It's getting them anxious for the cap, and you're watching the crosses. When you're watching the crosses, you're making sure that the enemy does not get on that OBJ and kill your teammate that is in there. Now they know there's only possibly one guy, and the other one's on that west courtyard. Now look at the rotations. Look at the other util usage. It's perfect. I mean, just getting the Volk anxious to peek out like this, it's gonna be for easy pickings. And you look, they're being aggressive, but in a safe way.
John Dope finds Golden Wolf, and dude, the pressure is on. 4 players up. Subtle barely missing their shots. John Dope. Wow, and Viper finds it. They could have gone for the cap. They were right there, swarming that objective like sharks around the drop of blood. That was impressive.
It was like I was guiding them. They got the picks, they got the crosses, they knew kill count, and they took a chance. They sent 2 up north, and they got the flanks, and they made him get over peaky, and it just led to the Volk just getting picked off like that. I mean, just perfect util usage too. I mean, when you realize that your teammate is next to OBJ and throwing those smokes, it just guarantees that the Volk are gonna be they're gonna be worried for a cap, and that's what happened. They got worried of a cap, and when they all got on there, it led to the picks, and it got them the round one. I mean, it was textbook plays, honestly.
For sure.
Textbook plays.
For sure. I mean, that goes to show how VR Militia kind of. I mean, they had it. I mean, as you saw, Subtle was not on objective. Had only one sight line, one sight onto the cross. Sorry, a sight onto one cross out of the two. So they could have capped from the north. They were just taking their time and swarming. I mean, strong round one for VR Militia. Round number two on defense, Ruska Roma, they've got to definitely try to, sorry, they definitely have to put up a fight here.
The scoreboards. Oh, there you go. Definitely, honestly, Roma, they need to they're getting a little too impatient on Marsoc. They're letting the time go to about 2 minutes, and then it's a 1v4, or it's a 1v3, and there's still 4 minutes, 3 minutes left on the clock. They need to tone down the aggression a little bit, and as you see, Majestic is all the way pushed up. I mean, he's just being really aggressive, and good stuff with John Wick falling right behind, just in case Majestic does get picked up. There's possibly gonna be a refrag.
Look at this movement. I mean, Viper is going to be the first line of defense, but Majestic took the north house. This is tough. This is tough. I mean, the two Marsoc are in the south, on the south apps. Majestic is yards away from the objective. Goldbagger sitting tight on that first floor. Thick, like, what's going to happen here? I mean, I feel like Majestic's just going to get caught out in the open, get shot from a million different ways. What a frag by Viper on VR Militia. Wow.
I mean, like I was saying, that over-aggression, it could be good and bad. And as you look, John Wick and Goldbagger right next to each other in the first 2 minutes of the round. And there we go, another pick by Gold. And Viper on Majestic Bandit. Just getting those 2 early picks. It's now 2 minutes into the round, and it's a 4v2. I mean, there's not much.
It's
honestly.
tough. Yeah, I mean, I think what's more impressive is that they had the balls to push that west court that fast. What's less impressive, though, is how VR Militia let go of that. I mean, if it's their strategic decision to let them push, be able to let them push and have that ability to push into that west court, that's fine. I mean, that's a personal subjective choice. One that I don't really understand. I don't know, just because you have a whole map, you spawn in. I mean, there is a pre-fire there on that west spawn for Marsoc through south apps onto that alleyway, but Volk 100% could have pushed that far northwest, and they just didn't. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely less interesting. You're using less of the map, but definitely if they feel more confident and if they have experienced more success, conservative. I mean, Thick, what are your opinion? Like, look, Marsoc is pushing the same exact way through west court, and here comes Viper with the flash out. I think Shuttle's fine. Yeah, Shuttle's fine. But look, they managed to win that for some reason. Viper wanted to flash and toss it like a girl, but look, they have control of the west block, and now they are again 40-50 feet away from the objective. Like,
now these 2 players on Roma that are still alive right now, this is perfect. I mean, they're looking for the picks. They're watching every single angle. And I bet there's probably going to be a pick unless VR Militia don't get peaky, which I don't see happening. But look at Subtle. I think he actually is crawling. He might be able to make his way to OBJ unless he gets picked up by Kid there. But they're playing pretty good. This is what the other 2 should have done, honestly, is just take it slow. I mean, you don't... And the Marsoc was really close to OBJ.
wow, TK And the cherry on top, Golden gets shot in the back. Dick! Oh.
I don't know how that... I mean...
Yeah. That's not good.
Maybe he thought he was on Volk. I'm not too sure. They were playing it perfect. They were taking their time. That North guy, not so much. He was kind of running, but it also allowed the refrag for the TK. Well, the TK teammate. He could have picked up the refrag, definitely. But Volk did a good job on not letting themselves get too over peaky. He just stayed there, and they got the round win. So, good stuff on them.
For sure. Yeah, that's disappointing. I mean, yeah, I definitely could see the potential of their setup, their placement, and the things that they were looking at, and it kind of hurts to watch it fall apart like that. Stuff.
Oh, definitely. And you gotta understand, it was a 2v4, and then it came down to a... Well, it was a 2v3. All honesty, it was probably gonna end up being a 2v2. That East Courtyard guy was kind of too far away from OBJ. I think he was actually sitting in Courtyard on the east side. But still, I mean, mistakes happen. It led down to not making any mistakes, and they were made.
Yep. I mean, well said. Round number 3. VR Militia 2 points ahead of Ruska on this bizarre map. It's a 4v4. I mean, technically, this is a fair fight.
Let's go back.
Oh, definitely.
This time now on the tank objective in the mid-east. Marsoc have that far northwest spawn. I mean, just visually, they have two ways to approach this objective, from the north and the south. They have access to both, unless Volk are able to take care of this cross. I mean, I have PTSD with this cross, but get John Wick unfazed. Unfazed. Pushing into tank courtyard. This Volk defense looking pretty fair on the objective, with one pretty aggressive here in the southeast block. Golden Wolf on the metal shed. Marsoc also pretty evenly split, a 2-2, 2 on Kiat, 2 in the southwest. Thick prophecy. My magical seer of the future. What do you see?
Early picks, pre-firing those common spots, especially that blue room. If you don't pre-fire it, there's a 10 out of 10 times that you're gonna die due to a Volk pre-firing you. Definitely where John Wick is right now, it's aggressive, but in a good way. He's making sure they don't get that northeast side. It's perfect, but he has to pay attention to that east courtyard too, and I think that is what he's doing. But definitely, honestly, probably I would make a rotation into the shed and listen for and Goldbagger getting the pick on Wolfie. They're just taking their time. They're taking their picks when need be, and they're being aggressive in a good way. They're getting the cover and they're rotating. And there we go. There's another pick. They're just picking apart this defense.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, yeah. It's kind of tough to see. Look at this rotation. Ring around the rosy, subtle, finding Goldbagger, shooting him in the back of the uplink. Get out of here. Get out of here. How did I miss this? Get out.
I mean, that was, when they picked up John Wick there, I mean, he was essential to that northeast and north push. Definitely he got picked up way too early. 2 minutes into a round and they got capped on. They got two people got over peaky and one of them got too over aggressive. They were good plays, but they were just kind of out in the open, not really listening to audio, and they weren't being covered by another Volk. And I think that's kind of what set them back, is they let the picks happen because they were out in the open, and they were in good spots too. They were in really good spots. It's just they got killed on them. And then that northeast was totally free. I mean, I think there was util. I couldn't tell because when the cap happens, I don't think you can see util anymore. But if there was smokes on there, that's perfect. They had 3 people, I think 3, around OBJ, and one of those 3 people were on there. Definitely, they were keeping an eye, looking for the refrags, because they probably knew there was going to be a guy playing blue room and a guy playing south.
Yeah,
and they picked up 2
I
of them.
think that tank house defender was busy with that south push, and as soon as John Wick went out, that blue room right next to tank wasn't paying attention, and that cap came straight onto that tank on the north side of it. I mean,
Oh, yep.
overall, great plays tonight. Surprising. In this bracket, I think VR Militia have quite a bit to show off, especially in the coming weeks for VRML. Make sure to tune in for that. That was it for us, though. Ruska, Roma versus VR Militia. Thank you to my co-host analyst, Thick.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, bro. That's going to be it. My name was Chumbe. You guys have a great rest of your night.